I'd like to welcome you to Wisdom Wednesday. Let's take a minute and just drop in. Let's pause in all of our life right now. I think something just happened on my computer, but hopefully I'm recording. Hopefully I'm live. It says I am. So I'm just asking us to take a pause in our day right now. Let's take some moments for reflection and for something new to come in energetically, mindfully. Let's open to something new right now as we begin to take some breaths, real deep, nice breaths in. Release, release, release what has happened in your day so far. Let it go. Nice to see people coming on here. Breathing in and letting go all the thoughts and doingness and other thoughts and all the demands of your day, even as we stay quiet, most of us in solitude now. There's so much going on, so much interior work going on in our hearts and minds, so much pressure that we feel from life and all that's happening on the globe right now. This reset, this giant, giant transformation that's trying to happen here. Not to get too lofty about it, it's a tough time for many of us. It's a beautiful time also. And lots of us are taking advantage of this time to look deeply within and do our healing work. Get ready for the next version of ourselves that wants to come in, and to get ready for new energies that want to come to the planet now. So as I was preparing for this today, a few days ago, this thought started coming in with people that I'm working with and in meditations that I've been doing. And that is that we all are holding a big secret. And I'd like today to approach that secret place within us. So please just feel yourself, feel your body. We know basically what's going on with our thinking. We keep trying to work on it. We're doing well. We're, doing our work, a lot of us. And yet there's something deep within us. There's something we can't quite approach. There's something that we don't think will ever change, will ever shift about ourselves and perhaps about our world. When we look at those we're in relationship with, our children, our partners, our friends, our most intimate relationships, we often think there's something about them that's never going to change. Something very fundamental in the human experience that just is. And that sense of beingness, that sense of shadow beingness that we sort of buy into, that is exactly what needs to be looked at. That place that we will actually defend, will actually say, well, this is the way I am. This is who I am. This is me, and this is him, and this is her, and this is the way the world is. Take it or leave it. Feel into yourself to that place in you that is immutable. It won't move. Everything else is kind of just, fluff compared to the depth of this belief system that we have about ourselves. So as you're breathing, feel yourself dropping all the way in to the very beingness of yourself. Feel there's some kind of weight inside you. There's something that never feels quite right. And there's something that if somebody gets too close to it, we will tend to defend it. Sometimes we have a lot of anger. Sometimes we would define ourselves almost as an angry person. That's just my expression. That's just the way I am. But when you allow yourself to really locate these places inside, you will find that it's a paper tiger, that it has sold you a bill of goods. It has sold you a truth that's not true. And what's actually happening is that that thing that you think is so unmovable in yourself, that thing that you defend, I'm shy. I don't really like to be around people. I'll never be able to be creative. All these identifications, as soon as those are able to process out of us and we're willing to face the fallacy of it, we find that what they're actually covering is the thing we're most afraid of. And that is our true expression. So the greatest secret thing that we hold is that we are very, very creative, wise, knowing beings. We basically don't want to take responsibility for that. We don't want to have to live up to the standards of our own heart calling. So we go into denial and cover it up with this bottomless pit of self-deprecation, of identifications of ourselves as being unable or incapable. And I think that these times of isolation, these times offering us to slow down and really do some reflection, this mirror that's up before us, and take a really good look at ourselves and the needs of the world, the needs of the planet right now, for us to claim every bit of our intellect and our creativity and our heart medicine to put out there in the world in many, many, many different ways. But first, we have to get through the block. First, we have to feel that residing within us, that weight, that denial, that thing that we protect as being who we are. So take a deep breath. Feel yourself dropping down. Feel the ways that you describe yourself. Feel the thing that you really are critical about in yourself. And even deeper than that, if you can locate it, that thing that for a very, very long time, maybe since you were a child, that you have absolutely hated about yourself. I've heard people describe themselves as lazy, as dumb, as socially unacceptable, as unable to ever feel anything without getting angry. I've heard the fear. I've heard the loathing, all directed at ourselves. How much energy we spend on self-criticism is off the charts, compared especially to how much energy we spend uplifting ourselves, trying to be our own best friend, trying to support our own creativity and our own stepping out in new ways. And we're actually being called now especially if you're listening to this. We are being called out. We are being asked to access all our gifts, or as many of them as we can possibly unwrap in this life. We're asked to step out of our shadow. We're asked to step out of our timidity, our shyness, our resistance. Just like I'm asked to be here before you as a self-described very, very shy person. I can't hope to be in leadership and buy into any of my own fears and my own ideas about who I am, or how my fears think the world might work, because it's wrong. We don't actually know how the world works right now. We have a chance to reinvent a lot of it, to approach a lot of what we've been too busy to look at on a global scale, on a community scale, and on a personal level. Our family dynamics, our attitudes about parenting, about love, about relationship. We have a chance to reevaluate and reassess all of it. And if we do, it is all going to point to the same thing. And that is our higher self, our spirit self, saying, come on now, let's get on with it. Let's do the thing that's hard to do. Let's write the book. Let's love deeper. Let's dig way down and find the creative impulse. Let's change the way we learn, the way we teach. Let's take leadership of self in this way. And in order to do that, we have to empower our heart to take the lead. Not the small mind, not the little bitty thoughts of limitation and impossibility. I will tell you that all of that has to go. All of it, every bit of it. Because we are being asked to step into a whole new paradigm now. And I don't mean that in some conceptual way. I mean what every single one of you and every one that you know already knows. That we need to reinvent the way we are. We need to dig way deep. And we need to clear anything that is blocking the creative impulse of our life. Anything that is blocking us from connecting to these really deep parts of ourselves. You know, it's said that we only use a tiny bit of our capacities here. Little bit of our brain power. I would say we only use about 2% of what our heart can accomplish here, of how big we can love, how much we can receive, how much energy can flow through us. We only are accessing just such a small amount. So if you're listening to this right now, take some breaths and open to the biggest version of yourself that you can possibly imagine. Open your heart center. Feel yourself, feel your vitality, your life force flowing through you. And think of your day, how much of this life force you actually use. How much? And are you willing to put more into it? Are you willing to outcreate that which tries to limit you? Are you willing to go beyond who you think you are? Are you willing? Are you willing? Breathe deep into it and feel the resistance moving. Put your hands on your belly. Put another hands on your heart. Press in a little. Feel that stuff in there that holds on because we're afraid. Breathing. Are you willing to take a chance on releasing fear? Press into the diaphragm with your fingers. Feel it in there. Are you willing to dig in there and move it? Are you willing to move it? Let's move it. Let's do it. Let's move the body. Let's breathe. Let's feel the fear and resistance. If there's anger too, if there's frustration, anything, let's move that too. Breathing. Feel it. Some of it's really deep. Some of it's been with us, limiting our lives since we were very young, since the first person that was in authority over us said, oh no, that's just a pipe dream. Do something real. The first instance in our lives when our dreams came crashing down on us as impossible. So we put it in the back of our minds and we hold it out here as someday, someday, someday. As soon as the kids are grown, as soon as I take this course, as soon as this happens or that happens. No. We're asked now to dream big. Have our dreams become real. This is Earth Day. Hello, Mama. Hello, Mama Gaia. We love you. How can we hold a dream for your health? How can we bring things into form that will support you? And how can we do it with love instead of fear? With creativity instead of anger? How can we take limitations off our thinking and reinvent the world? What do you think? Want to be part of it? Let's do it. Why not? Thank you. I love you. I invite you to join me